Hi everybody, this is Dayu from EcommOps. That's short for Ecommerce Operations. Very excited today to be announcing our new YouTube channel and Facebook group, all talking about the operations and logistics side of the e-commerce business. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and join our Facebook group, which is linked below in the descriptions. Today's video will start off by talking about why we started this in the first place, and also why you, as an e-commerce or dropshipping business owner, should really care about your operations and pay attention to it in order to really build that long-lasting, sustainable business of your dreams. So why did we start this in the first place? I think that there's a lot of YouTube gurus out there talking about dropshipping, and I think that especially a lot of their free videos, they make the equation a little bit too simple. Now, I'm not pointing out any names here, actually. I just grabbed two random screenshots, so nothing against these gurus specifically, and you see I have their faces blocked out. But a lot of times, the free content out there, they talk about scaling up Facebook ads, they talk about fulfilling cheaply from AliExpress, and then you're going to make a lot of money and you're going to buy that Lambo or some other car of your dreams. Some of you might know this already, but it's really not that simple. There is a lot of things that you really have to think about in terms of operations and logistics, and you really have to be aware of them in order to really take your store to the next level. And so how are we going to be different from other YouTube channels? So I think a lot of YouTube channels out there, especially with their free content, they focus on, Facebook, Insta, Google Ads, and they focus on just fulfilling directly from AliExpress. We're going to focus in this channel really about everything that a lot of the YouTube gurus tend to miss. Stuff like custom production, inventory planning, store operations, logistics, how do you find better shipping? How do you brand your product? How do you plan around different seasons, like Chinese New Year's, for example? How do you think about customer service, right? And we're going to do this in a completely transparent and up-to-date manner. We do run our own premium fulfillment service, which I'll tell you a little bit more about, but you don't have to be a client as a prerequisite to learn and digest a lot of the free content that we plan to push out with this channel and our groups. And it's really because I have a lot of hope and belief in drop shipping and these kind of individual e-commerce stores and entrepreneurs as a model. I think that it's a great way to bring great products from China to around the world, and it's a great way for hardworking entrepreneurs to really make a lot of money. We're really here focused on providing you with as much information as possible so that we together as a community can really just improve on store operations and just take drop shipping and e-commerce to the next level as it continues to mature. So let's start with the question of why should you be even thinking about a lot of these things that we'll eventually talk about. Simple. It's going to increase your profits. Now, even though investing in your operations and supply chain might add to some costs, but overall, it pretty much always makes our clients more profitable to be thinking about these things and how to improve them. So let's start off with the very simple revenue and cost tree. What drives profit? So a lot of people just tend to stop there. You increase your revenue by just getting more customers, making more sales, and then you try to decrease your costs as much as possible by, finding cheaper products and cheaper fulfillment. Now, to build a really sustainable brand, you really need to take it to the next level and think about some other critical drivers and how do you affect them. Now, so we'll just talk about a small sample here. There's a lot more out there, but just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's start on the revenue side. Some of the key drivers that really drive revenue are, yes, the product price, but really it's the perceived value of that product, especially over some generic version. And how do you increase that? Well, you know, make better products. Maybe you you create completely custom products. Maybe you private label, put a logo on the product itself. And in terms of number of orders, a lot of people tend to just drive more Facebook ads, but tend to ignore very powerful ways of getting more orders, and that's repeat purchasers and referrals and recommendations from one customer to other future customers as well. And how do you do that? Well, you have a great brand, you have great quality products, you have just fantastic customer service in general. Now let's move over to the cost side as well. Even if you spend a little bit more time and effort and maybe cost in improving your operations, net, it's going to reduce a lot of the costs in a way that is going to make you more profitable. Okay, so let's start with, I'm sure a lot of you have had customers ask for refunds for shipping issues. It takes, you know, 5 weeks, 8 weeks to get there. There's no tracking information, right? And you're going to get a lot of refunds because of that. Well, you know, how do you solve that? Well, simple, you know, faster shipping and shipping methods with better tracking in general. You might get a lot of refunds for low quality products. Well, simple, right? You source better products. You improve the products through multiple rounds of iterations, working with your supplier or working with the factory. A lot of you, I'm sure, are always worried now about what Facebook or PayPal or Stripe are going to do to your accounts because of customer feedback or whatnot, right? And again, I mean, overall, you improve this by just having just better processes in place, but you know, one thing that really affects this the most are having tracking numbers that are updated quickly, and they're actually real and not empty. You know, tracking numbers that actually have information after a couple of days as opposed to a couple of weeks, and they actually show something meaningful, especially for PayPal. They want to see real tracking numbers that actually get updated. And then finally, customer service costs, right? You know, this kind of goes both ways. Customer service is a cost in general, and it's a cost that you should definitely invest in, but you can actually minimize that cost as well by one, just kind of just proactively making sure that your product is good, your shipping is good, but also just setting up more efficient customer service processes in general. And I can almost guarantee that if you think about these drivers, and there's some more out there, but these are the main ones, but if you think about these in the right way and really focus on them, they will make you more profitable. Now, I'm a guy who really likes to use data to really back up any conclusions. So I'm actually going to show you guys an Excel model that I made to illustrate a lot of these points using some real illustrative numbers. Alright, so I'm going to walk you guys through a simple Excel model I made to illustrate my point earlier. Obviously, these are not real numbers, they're illustrative, but you know, through working with many clients and my own experience in the e-commerce space, these are very reasonable numbers, and how improving your operations affects these numbers is also very realistic as well. Follow my cursor here and I'll walk you through it. So let's assume that you have a baseline scenario of a store, and I'll walk you through these numbers later, and then we have a scenario to compare to. So what happens if we improve operations and improve some of these numbers? And here we have the difference between the two scenarios in terms of total profit and total profit margin. Now obviously it's 0 right now because we haven't changed any of these numbers. So let's just say you have a store and you're selling a product at a retail price to your customers for $30. And let's just say this is an entire month, and you sold 1,500 units for the month, you know, so 50 orders per day or so. And let's just say that, you know, you haven't invested too much in it, so you have a 0% repeat or referral sales rate. And so your total revenue would be $45,000. It's all calculated. As for the cost, you have, let's say, a product shipping cost of $10. You're fulfilling from AliExpress or another supplier, and total it's $10 product shipped to your customer. So the good old 1/3 of your product price rule. And Facebook CPA, let's just assume 12.5, which is going to be 30 divided by 12.5, so a ROAS of 2.4. So, you know, not bad, but again, really realistic ROAS for a scaling store. And let's just say that you have a refund cost of 10%, right? Now, a lot of you might say, oh, I don't have a refund cost of 10%, mine's lower. Well, good for you. You're probably doing a lot of things right already. But a lot of clients, especially if they come over from AliExpress or some other low quality supplier, we do see very, very high refund rates like these. And actually, this is actually pretty standard in the entire e-commerce industry as well. In fact, if you run a clothing store, you might be seeing something like a 20% plus refund or exchange rate, right? So avoid closing stores from China, by the way. But let's just say 10% refund cost for now. And let's just say that you're not really investing in customer service, you're just doing it yourself for now, right? So then your total profit margin for this month is going to be 6,750. So not bad for the month, right? And profit margin at 15%, but obviously let's figure out how we improve it. So before we get started with some of the operational improvements, let's first start with what happens with maybe the first thing that a lot of new dropshippers think about improving their profits, and that's how do I decrease my product costs, right? So let's just say that you're able to find a better seller or find a cheaper supplier and they decrease your product and shipping costs by 10%. So it's $9. It's very unlikely you're going to go much more of a decrease in that, so assume 10%, $9 for now. So obviously the math works out, right? Lower product cost means higher profit. So then just by lowering your product and shipping costs by 10%, you're going to get $1,500 in additional profit for the month. And actually, let me just copy this over. And we'll use this as a reference, right? So what if decrease product cost by 10%. So I'm going to turn this back to 0. And what we're going to do is, what if we don't touch the product cost at all? And then improve some of the other factors, okay? So let's start from the top, all right? So let's just say that you really find the best quality products, you improve your operations, you improve your customer service in general, and just a better experience so customers want to buy more and they tell their friends about you, right? And then let's just say that from all of that, and maybe you start like a mailing list campaign to re-engage old customers, you're going to get a repeat/referral purchase rate of 5% on top of the units that you sell. By the way, 5% is very reasonable. Actually, a lot of the top e-commerce stores, they might be looking at a repeat purchaser rate of something like 10 or even 20%. And you might think, well, that's way, way beyond my goals. But why is it, right? I mean, your goal eventually is to build a big brand and really win in this space, right? But for now, we'll just say 5% as something that's reasonably achievable without that much effort, okay? And so immediately, if you have a 5% repeat/referral rate, you immediately have a total profit difference of over $2,000. That's huge. And the reason why it's so big actually is because these orders are going to be some of probably your most profitable orders because you're not spending Facebook ads on them. People are rebuying for free. People are telling their friends for free, and you're not spending ad costs on them. So these are highly profitable. So let's go down here and let's go to the refund cost. So 10% obviously is very high, but then, let's say you work with a supplier, who's great, who finds you the best products, there's much less defects, and maybe they're going to help you out by actually, resending orders for free or just refunding you for orders that come damaged, and we get this down to 5%. I think realistically, you can probably get this down to like somewhere in the 2 to 3% range. But let's just say 5% to be kind of reasonable here. So if we decrease it to 5%, then look at that. Now your total profit difference from the baseline scenario is more than $4,000. And now you're making more than $11,000 in total profit for the month with just those two changes. And then the other thing is Facebook ad costs. As most of you know, your Facebook feedback score is more and more important these days. If you have a 4.5 versus a 1.8, it's a huge difference. If you have positive engagement on your ads, where you don't have to hide the comments when everyone's raving about your product, raving about your service, that makes your ads improve better as well. Now, it's always hard to put a number on it, but let's just assume that, that is going to help you out by decreasing your average CPA to $12, so 50 cents less. And, look at that, that obviously adds to the profit as well. And finally, let's just say that, hey, I really want to improve my product. I want to put a brand on it. I want to use a custom box, a custom instruction booklet. I don't want to use the Chinese instructions. I actually want to create my own. Maybe you want to say, hey, I want to just improve this product. I want to use better materials, and you work with a supplier to help you work with a factory just to get a better product, branded product in general, and you have better experience, better shipping, and you really stand out amongst the other generic brands who sell the same product for $30, but now you say, hey, I'm going to sell it for $35 because I invested this much in it. And remember now, increasing product price is not arbitrary. It's based on increasing your perceived value. So if you can build your perceived value with all the things I just talked about, you are able to increase your product price as well. So let's just say that we increase it by $5. So $35 versus $30, right? A very reasonable increase, by the way. And look at that. Just by doing that, you're making now $20,000, $19,000 in profit for the month and a $12,600 difference. Way more than the $1,500 profit difference than if you just decrease your product cost by 10%. Now, obviously, you're probably thinking, well, all of these come with costs. And they do, right? So let's start with the product and shipping costs first. If you want to brand your product, if you want to put a logo on it, if you want to do a custom run, if you want to use better materials, that's going to add to the cost. But let's just say that all of that probably adds $3, so it's $13 now for the product cost, a 30% increase in your product cost. So even if you do that, right, even if you spend $3 more on a per unit basis on product and fulfillment, you're still making a huge profit difference. You're still making $8,000 more than if you just decrease your product cost by 10%. And well, customer service. If you want a better customer experience, you got to hire customer service agents. And let's just say that you want to hire one VA, $500 per month. And see, that doesn't affect things too much. But let's just say, hey, look, you want great customer service, and that's the only way you can actually affect all those numbers that we were just talking about. And you want to hire a whole team of 3 VAs who are working around the clock, 24 hours. So that's $1,500. So look at that. Even with the higher product cost and $1,500 per month in customer service versus zero, you're still making a lot more money because of all the things that these things are doing to improve your other numbers. And now you're ending up with a total profit of $13,000 for the month, higher profit margins. You're making $6,600 more than the baseline scenario, which is obviously a lot more than if you just decrease your product price by 10%. And by the way, if you just decrease your product and shipping costs by 10%, who knows what that actually means, right? Because then your supplier might be using a cheaper product, they might be using slower shipping, and actually that could have a negative impact on most of your other numbers. One point to note here as well is that this gives you a lot more room. Let's just say, hey, you want even faster shipping. You want 5 to 8 day express shipping, and you want a better product even. You want better packaging, and you want to spend $5 more on your product and shipping costs. This gives you the room to do so. You're still making $10,000 in profit versus $6,700 in profit on the baseline scenario. So again, obviously these are very illustrative numbers, but hopefully me walking through the math, you get to see that these are very, very reasonable. And some of you might think that, oh, a lot of these things, like, these are more for a larger branded store. This is not for me as a drop shipper. Why not? I think that drop shipping, generic products, it's not dead, but I think that it is a good way to make a quick buck. It's a quick way to test new products, but I really believe that if you really want to make it big in this space, you really have to invest in the other areas of your business. So my philosophy is that once you find a product and you think it's a winner, then you immediately go to the next step. Find a good fulfillment partner, hire more customer service, really do things to affect all of these other numbers that increase your profit overall. And then that's how you eventually become a Blend Jet or a Hey Silky Skin. I mean, all of those stores started out as dropshipping stores, and then they made the effort to improve all these areas of their business and invested in these areas of the business with better products, better branding, better shipping, better customer service, and now they're multi-million-dollar brands. And I want to show you that this is really possible, but it requires thinking in the right way. It requires focusing on the right areas to actually improve your store operations in general, and not just kind of thinking about, oh, how do I lower my product costs as much as possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little Excel exercise. And going back into these slides, I wanted to bring up a point. Why should you trust us? Why should you even listen to us, right? Because we really are the top experts in this space. We actually work in the operations fulfillment business. So starting with myself, again, my name is Dayu. I have more than 6 years of experience in product development, branding, working on custom manufacturing, building up supply chains from end to end, running my own stores, store operations, and customer service. Not only that, I've consulted for some of the largest companies in the world, and it's one of my passions actually to help businesses grow and to help advise clients to help achieve their goals. So really looking forward to share as much as knowledge as possible, help advise you on your business growth, and maybe even partner together in the future with our service. My partner, Maria Sun, she's very experienced in the dropshipping fulfillment business. She started out with some AliExpress stores, and since then she's worked with hundreds of different clients, hundreds of different factories, thousands of different products, from sourcing to finding the best shipping methods to just be able to manage the entire process on a very, very high quality level. We created what I really believe to be the next level kind of fulfillment agency. So our company, EcommOps. If you have more than 50 orders per day and you're looking for what I believe to be the best in China fulfillment services, check out our website. I'll put that in the link, and check us out and fill out a form, and we'll happy to consider working with you. I really didn't want this to be an ad in any way, because like I said, look, working with us is not a prerequisite to giving you information. I know a lot of folks out there, they're not going to be ready for our service. They don't have enough orders yet, right? They want to go with something simpler, and that's totally fine. We want to be able to provide you with the most valuable, up-to-date, and transparent information through this channel and through this group as well, so that you can grow and maybe eventually you can then work with us, and we'll be happy to consider that. And then finally, last but certainly not least, our friend and advisor, Gabriel. Gabriel is one of the top dropshippers and top YouTube experts on dropshipping and e-commerce. His stuff is really, really great, even the free content. So definitely check him out if you're looking for more knowledge on the marketing front. And Gabriel is advising us to help us better understand, kind of what our clients go through, advising us on the marketing front, advising us on kind of growing this channel and growing this group. So really happy to have his support in, building our business and building this channel and community. All right, so that's us. So welcome to the channel, welcome to the community. If you like what you saw and want to see more, then please subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and I will be releasing regular videos in the future talking about really everything in terms of operations and logistics topics. And please join our Facebook group as well, link in the description, where we're nurturing a community of like-minded individuals who really understand that you should really care about operations, logistics, customer service, and hopefully that will be a place where everyone can share expert advice, tips, and tricks on how to build your business beyond the simplicity of just running Facebook ads and buying products from AliExpress. All right, well, hey, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys around next time. Bye-bye.